Welcome back to the channel today. We're talking about some small coins that could be worth big money. You might not think much about a 5-cent coin, but some US nickels are actually worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and they could be sitting in your change jar right now. In this video, I'll show you the most valuable 5-cent coins in the United States, why collectors pay so much for them, and how to spot one of these rare treasures. So grab your coins and let's see if you've got a valuable nickel hiding in plain sight. Let's get started. The 1965 Jefferson nickel. We have to rewind to the early 1960s. The United States was experiencing a massive coin shortage. Silver prices were rising, and people began hoarding coins made with silver, such as dimes, quarters, and half dollars. This led to serious problems in everyday commerce. Vending machines, parking meters, and cash registers were running short of coins. In response, the U.S. Mint took drastic measures. In 1965, they removed mint marks from all coins to discourage collectors from saving them by location. So, for 3 years, 1965, 1966, and 1967, no U.S. coins carried a mint mark. That's why the 1965 Jefferson nickel doesn't have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. Every coin minted during that time was left unmarked to keep people from hoarding and to help coins circulate more freely. Now, let's talk design. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The obverse, or front, shows the famous "In God We Trust" motto to the left, liberty, and the date to the right, and Jefferson's strong, noble profile in the center. On the reverse side, you'll find the Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, depicted in classical architecture with E pluribus unum above it and the denomination 5 cents, along with United States of America below. The design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, who won a national competition for his artistic vision. The 1965 version kept the same design, but with some slight differences in strike sharpness and detail quality due to the high-speed minting process used that year. Unlike some other coins from that turbulent decade, the 1965 nickel retained its traditional composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5 grams and measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The edge is plain, as always, without reading. During 1965, the U.S. Mint was focused on maximizing production efficiency. Billions of coins were needed to meet demand, so minting facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all contributed, though none carried a mint mark. The Mint produced approximately 136 million nickels dated 1965, and because the date was often carried over between years, some of these may have actually been struck in 1966, a practice the Mint used to stabilize production. So why exactly did the U.S. Mint remove the mint marks? The government believed collectors were part of the problem behind the coin shortage. People were saving coins from certain mints, like the D mint mark from Denver or the S from San Francisco, thinking they might become valuable. The Mint thought that by removing the mint marks altogether, it would make collecting less appealing and keep coins in circulation. It was a controversial move, but it worked in the short term. Coins flowed more freely again, and the Mint was able to catch up on demand. The decision was later reversed in 1968, and mint marks were reintroduced. But for collectors today, those 3 years without mint marks, especially 1965, make for a fascinating chapter in U.S. numismatic history. Now, let's talk about what really matters to collectors: value. A typical circulated 1965 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is worth 5 to 10 cents, just slightly above face value. However, coins in very good condition, like the one you might have, showing moderate wear but clear lettering and details, can bring around 15 cents to 30 cents. In uncirculated or mint state (MS) condition, these coins can sell for anywhere between $1 and $10, depending on the grade. The true gems are those graded MS 66 or higher, where the luster is full and the surfaces are virtually flawless. Some of these high-grade examples have fetched $50 to $100 or more at auction. So while most 1965 nickels are common, the pristine ones are prized. Collectors love a good mint error, and the 1965 Jefferson nickel doesn't disappoint. There are a few interesting error types known for this year, including off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong metal blank. These rare mistakes can boost the value dramatically, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and visual appeal. There are also nickels that show die cracks or extra thickness in the lettering, which some collectors enjoy searching for. So if you've got a 1965 nickel, grab a magnifying glass and check for unusual features. You might have a hidden treasure sitting in your coin jar. One very important note: in 1965, the Mint did not produce traditional proof sets. Instead, they released special mint sets, SMS, which featured coins with a satin-like finish and sharper details than normal circulation strikes. The 1965 Jefferson nickel from these sets is noticeably smoother, with a semi-proof-like surface. These SMS nickels are sought after by collectors who build typesets or want examples from each year of the no-mint mark period. Most SMS nickels are worth around $1 to $3, but exceptionally high-quality ones with cameo contrast, meaning frosty raised design and mirror-like background, can fetch $50 to $200 or more depending on grading. Today, the 1965 Jefferson nickel remains a staple for beginning collectors and Jefferson series enthusiasts alike. It's a coin that bridges the classic and modern eras of U.S. coinage, representing a time when economic policy literally reshaped the coins in our pockets. Over the past decade, values have remained steady, though the top-tier graded coins have seen gradual appreciation as collectors compete for the finest known examples. The demand for SMS coins and era varieties continues to rise, especially as more people discover the fascinating backstory of this otherwise ordinary nickel. It's not just about the metal or the date, it's about the history it holds. So, if you've got a 1965 Jefferson nickel in your collection, even one without a mint mark, take a closer look. Examine its condition, check for special finishes, and inspect it for possible errors. Whether it's worth a few cents or a few $100s, it's a piece of American history worth keeping. And if you're just starting out in coin collecting, the 1965 nickel is a perfect place to begin. Affordable, available, and full of story. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into U.S. coin history. Leave a comment below with what coin you'd like me to explore next. Maybe your suggestion will be in the next up. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel. Its design was created by artist Felix Schlag, whose winning entry honored both President Thomas Jefferson and his home, Monticello. The obverse features a dignified portrait of Jefferson facing left, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year of minting. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece in Virginia. By 1984, this design had already been in circulation for over 4 decades, and though many coins had slight die modifications over the years, the spirit of Schlag's design remained the same: clean, classical, and distinctly American. Now, let's zoom into the year 1984 itself. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 746 million Jefferson nickels. That's nearly 750 million coins. The mint mark P, located on the right side of Monticello on the reverse, denotes Philadelphia, which by then had become the most prolific of the U.S. mints. The sheer production volume means that finding circulated 1984 P nickels isn't difficult. However, finding uncirculated examples, especially those with strong luster, clean fields, and minimal contact marks, can be surprisingly challenging. Coins struck with fresh dies that have full details, particularly sharp steps on Monticello, are especially prized by collectors. Like other nickels of the modern era, the 1984 P Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5.00 grams, with a 21.2 mm diameter and a plain edge. There are no silver or special metal variations for this date, as silver nickels had ended in 1945. However, collectors value the 1984 P for its strike quality and preservation, rather than metallic content. Because the metal composition is the same as nickels today, environmental conditions, storage, and handling all play major roles in determining whether your coin retains its original mint luster or develops spots, dullness, or discoloration over time. When we talk about an uncirculated or mint state coin, we're referring to one that has never been used in commerce, meaning it shows no signs of wear. Uncirculated 1984 P nickels may range from MS60 all the way up to MS67 or higher, depending on their luster, strike, and surface marks. In lower uncirculated grades like MS60, MS63, these coins are relatively common and inexpensive. But as we move up to MS-65 and above, where the coin surfaces are near flawless and its luster is strong, values begin to climb significantly. Grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified thousands of examples, but only a tiny percentage achieve the full steps designation, indicating that every step on Monticello's staircase is completely visible and sharply struck, a true hallmark of a superior minting. Among Jefferson nickel collectors, one of the most sought-after designations is the full steps variety, often abbreviated as FS. On the reverse side of the coin, beneath Monticello, the steps leading up to the structure are a key area that shows whether a coin was struck with precision. Due to striking pressure, worn dies, or slight planchet imperfections, most 1984 P nickels lack complete step details. Finding a 1984 P full steps nickel in MS66 or higher is genuinely rare and can command a premium price, sometimes hundreds of dollars more than a regular mint state coin. Collectors meticulously examine these details under magnification, as just one faint break or flattening between steps disqualifies the coin from this coveted status. So, what's the 1984 P Jefferson nickel worth today? As of 2025, uncirculated examples typically sell for $1 to $5 in raw form, depending on eye appeal and condition. Coins graded by professional services in MS65 often fetch $10 to $20, while high-end examples in MS66 or MS67 with full steps can soar to $100, $250, or even over $500 at auction, depending on demand and registry competition. For perspective, most 1984 P nickels still in pocket change are only worth face value, but for pristine coins stored since their original minting, that value can multiply exponentially. Remember, condition is everything in modern U.S. coin collecting. From a collecting standpoint, the 1984 P Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a snapshot of mid-1980s American minting quality and history. While not considered a key date, it's an excellent example of how modern-era nickels can still offer hidden gems and long-term appreciation potential. Many collectors build Jefferson nickel date and mint sets, spanning from 1938 to today, and the 1984 P fills a vital spot in that lineup. If you're building a high-grade set, you'll likely seek one certified with full steps. Over time, as populations of high-grade coins stabilize and fewer untouched rolls remain, the premium for these top examples tends to rise gradually, making this coin a small but steady investment opportunity. Beyond its numismatic value, the 1984 Jefferson nickel represents a moment in American life during the Reagan era. When gas was about $1.20 a gallon, the first Apple Macintosh was released, and the Olympics were held in Los Angeles. Millions of these nickels jingled through the pockets of everyday Americans, buying candy, newspapers, and coffee. To hold a mint state 1984 P today is to hold a piece of that history, a metallic relic of a time before digital money and smartphones. It's fascinating how a coin so common in its day can transform into a collectible time capsule 4 decades later. So there you have it, the 1984 Jefferson nickel from the Philadelphia Mint, a coin that might seem ordinary but carries a story of craftsmanship, minting precision, and numismatic intrigue. Whether you find one in a roll hunt, a mint set, or tucked away in an old drawer, take a moment to appreciate the artistry and the legacy behind it. And if you happen to uncover a high-grade or full steps example, you might just be holding a small treasure worth far more than 5 cents. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into U.S. coins, values, and hidden rarities. I'm your host, and until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep your eyes on your change, because you never know what history you might be holding next up. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the iconic Buffalo nickel that had graced American pockets for 25 years. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the obverse, we find a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse depicts his beloved Virginia estate, Monticello. The design has undergone subtle modifications over the decades, but in 1995, it still retained the classic Schlag look that collectors associate with mid-century U.S. coinage. Each coin carries both artistic and historical value, symbolizing America's dedication to liberty, architecture, and statesmanship. Now, focusing on the 1995 D. Jefferson nickel, the D mint mark signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint. That year, Denver produced a staggering number of these coins, approximately 726,620,000 nickels, which means they're far from rare in circulation. However, even in common coins, not all examples are created equal. Differences in strike quality, luster, and preservation over the years can make some coins worth far more than their face value. Many nickels from this period were used heavily in commerce, resulting in most surviving examples showing noticeable wear, scratches, and loss of detail. Coins that have remained in fine or uncirculated condition are much more desirable to collectors. When we talk about grade and condition, fine condition, abbreviated as F12 on the Sheldon grading scale, refers to a coin that has moderate wear but still shows major design details clearly. On a Jefferson nickel in fine condition, Jefferson's hairlines will appear worn, but his facial features remain distinct. On the reverse, Monticello's steps may be smooth, but the outline of the building is still strong and readable. Collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC use precise magnification and light analysis to confirm these details. So, if you have a 1995 D nickel in fine condition, it's certainly collectible, but its market value will largely depend on overall eye appeal and any unique minting anomalies. Speaking of mint errors and varieties, these are often where common coins turn into treasures. For the 1995 D Jefferson nickel, look out for die cracks, off-center strikes, double die obverse, DDO, features, or planchet flaws. Even minor errors can make a big difference in value. For example, a 1995 D nickel showing doubling in Jefferson's eye or on the word Liberty might sell for several dollars, or more, depending on visibility and grading confirmation. While no major recognized variety for this date is known like the famous 1939 doubled Monticello or the 1943 P silver wartime nickels, small imperfections from the minting process are always worth investigating, especially with a magnifier under good lighting. In terms of metal composition, the 1995 D Jefferson nickel is made from the standard copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. Unlike wartime nickels from 1942 to 1945 that contain silver, the 1995 D does not have any precious metal content, which means its intrinsic metal value hovers around 5 cents, matching its face value. However, the real worth of this coin lies in numismatic appreciation rather than bullion content. As collectors often say, rarity and condition create value, not just the metal itself. And this holds especially true for modern nickels, which are collected based on strike quality and preservation. Now, let's talk about market value. A 1995 D Jefferson nickel in heavily circulated condition, say, good or very good, is typically worth only its face value of 5 cents. In fine condition, it might reach 10 to 20 cents, while extremely fine examples can bring 25 to 40 cents. If your coin is in uncirculated MS60, MS65 condition, it could be worth anywhere from $1 to $5, depending on its luster and strike sharpness. However, the real jump occurs at the higher end of the grading spectrum, MS67 or higher, where superb examples with full steps on Monticello can sell for $100 or more, especially those certified by major grading services. Collectors often seek full steps nickels, coins that show every step on Monticello's staircase in sharp detail. This is a sign of an exceptionally strong strike and careful handling after minting. For the 1995 D issue, full-step nickels are tough to find because of strike weakness at the Denver Mint that year. Most coins exhibit soft details in the central area. Thus, finding a 1995 D with 5 or 6 full steps under magnification can be an exciting discovery. These coins often command a premium far above typical uncirculated values and are the highlight of Jefferson nickel collections. If you're thinking of selling or collecting these coins, here's what you should do. First, handle your nickels by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Next, store them in 2x2 holders or archival-safe flips to protect from air exposure. If you suspect you have a high-grade or error coin, consider professional grading. PCGS, NGC, or ANAC certifications can transform a casual find into a verified collectible with measurable market value. Prices can vary slightly depending on the collector market and demand at coin shows, online marketplaces like eBay, or through professional dealers. Always research recent auction results to stay current on what collectors are paying. To wrap things up, the 1995 D. Jefferson nickel may not be a rare or silver coin, but it's an essential piece of American coinage history. It bridges the gap between mid-century design and modern minting technology, reminding us how everyday coins carry stories of craftsmanship and continuity. If you have about 30 mint state examples, as some collectors do, you might be holding a small but meaningful collection worth exploring further, especially if you sort and grade them carefully. Every nickel tells a part of America's story, and the 1995 D is no exception. So, next time you check your change, take a closer look. You might just uncover a tiny piece of history hiding in plain sight. Next up. The Jefferson Nickel series have been running since 1938, featuring Felix Schlag's portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the Monticello building on the reverse. But after more than 6 decades, the U.S. Mint decided to refresh the design to mark the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase, 1803, and the epic Lewis and Clark Expedition, 1804 to 1806. Between 2004 and 2006, the Mint launched the Westward Journey Nickel series, a short run of special designs before returning to a modified Jefferson portrait. The 2005 American Bison Nickel was the third design in this special program. It instantly caught public attention because it evoked the spirit of the old Buffalo nickel, 1913 to 1938, a beloved classic. For many collectors, it felt like the revival of an American legend, modernized with 21st-century minting technology but rooted deeply in history and national pride. Now, focusing on the 2005 P mint mark, the P indicates the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That year, the Philadelphia facility produced an impressive 448,320,000 of these coins, making it a high mintage issue by sheer numbers. However, not all nickels are created equal. Coins straight from mint rolls or U.S. mint sets, preserved in uncirculated condition, carry significantly more value than those found in circulation. The key for collectors is condition, strike sharpness, and luster, and if you've got about 30 uncirculated examples, you're already holding something worth cataloging. Many Philadelphia strikes are known for strong details, particularly in the bison's fur and horn area, though some weaker strikes exist where parts of the bison's back appear flat or indistinct. The design of the 2005 P Bison Nickel is rich in symbolism. On the obverse, we see a modernized, right-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Joe Fitzgerald. This marked a break from the traditional left-facing Jefferson used since 1938. Jefferson's gaze is more direct, giving the coin a lifelike, almost conversational feel. The word liberty on this coin was actually based on Jefferson's own handwriting from historical documents, adding a personal touch that connects the founding father directly to the design. The reverse side, designed by Jamie Franke, showcases a powerful American bison standing proudly on a grassy plain, representing the untamed spirit of the western frontier and honoring the wildlife encountered by Lewis and Clark. Beneath the animal, the classic inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 5 cents, complete the design. In terms of metal composition, this coin follows the traditional Jefferson nickel formula. 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5 grams, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a smooth, plain edge. While it doesn't contain any silver or precious metals, the real value lies in its symbolism and condition. The metallic composition provides a durable surface resistant to corrosion, which is one reason many of these coins, even 2 decades later, can still appear bright and crisp when properly stored. For collectors who maintain rolls or mint-sealed bags, this durability ensures that their 2005 P Bison nickels remain in near-perfect condition for years to come, making them reliable and visually appealing pieces in modern U.S. coin collections. Now let's discuss condition and grading. An uncirculated coin, also referred to as mint state, MS60, MS70, means it shows no signs of wear, though it may still have minor contact marks or bag scratches from mint handling. If your 2005 P nickels are uncirculated straight from mint rolls or U.S. mint sets, they would likely grade somewhere between MS63 and MS66. A coin graded MS67 or higher is exceptionally rare and highly valued, especially if it has full, sharp detail on the bison's head, horns, and body texture. Some collectors also look for proof-like surfaces or die varieties, for instance, doubling on Jefferson's I or the letters in Liberty. These small differences can increase value dramatically, especially once certified by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Let's talk about value and market trends. In circulated condition, a 2005 P Bison nickel is generally worth its face value, 5 cents. However, in uncirculated condition, values increase depending on grade. As of recent collector trends, a mint state 63 coin typically sells for about 25 to 50 cents, an MS-65 example might reach $1 to $2, and an MS-66 could be worth $5 or more. Coins that achieve the MS-67 or higher designation, particularly those certified with strong eye appeal, can command anywhere between $25 and $100, depending on market demand. Some top-graded examples have even sold for over $200 in auctions, making this an affordable yet exciting entry point for collectors interested in modern U.S. coins with potential future appreciation. It's also worth noting that the 2005 Bison Nickel series experienced some controversy due to what collectors call the speared bison error, a fascinating and rare die gouge variety. On this variety, a raised line appears to pierce through the bison's midsection, giving the appearance that it's been speared. This minting error was caused by a die defect and quickly became one of the most desirable modern nickel varieties. Some examples of the 2005 P speared bison have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on condition. So, if you have multiple uncirculated 2005 P nickels, it's absolutely worth inspecting each one under magnification. You might have a valuable variety sitting right in your collection without realizing it. For collectors holding around 30 mint condition examples, as you mentioned, organization and preservation are key. You should store these coins in non-PVC holders, airtight capsules, or tubes specifically designed for nickels. Keep them in a cool, dry environment away from humidity and direct sunlight to prevent toning or oxidation. If you plan to sell them in the future, you may want to have the best-looking few professionally graded, especially those with strong luster and flawless surfaces. Having even one or two graded MS-67 or higher can make your small collection notably more valuable and respected among numismatists. You can also catalog them by mint mark and condition, maintaining a detailed log or spreadsheet for insurance or resale purposes. To wrap it up, the 2005 P American Bison Nickel is a perfect blend of artistry, symbolism, and history. It connects the early 19th century frontier spirit with the modern era of coin design. For new collectors, it's an accessible starting point that still carries tremendous educational and aesthetic value. For seasoned numismatists, it represents a nostalgic return to the era of the Buffalo nickel, reimagined with a fresh design. And for those like you who have several uncirculated specimens, about 30 mint-fresh examples, you're holding a mini treasure trove of modern American coinage. Over time, coins like these, especially those preserved in pristine condition, may increase in value as collectors seek to complete westward journey sets. So hold on to them, cherish the history they represent, and never underestimate the story behind a simple 5-cent piece, because in the world of numismatics, every coin tells the journey of a nation. Thanks for watching.